the heart of Antarctica, where the frozen winds whispered secrets only the icebergs knew, stood a solitary research base. Isolation clung to the air like a tangible presence, and desolation stretched as far as the eye could see. Here, humanity's curiosity and resilience converged, as a team of brilliant minds sought to unlock the secrets hidden within the frozen expanse. At the forefront of this endeavor was Dr. Emma Carter, a woman of unwavering determination and insatiable curiosity. As the lead scientist of the research base, she had dedicated her life to understanding the mysteries of the world around her. Her sharp intellect was matched only by her compassion as she navigated the intricate dance of science and emotion. By her side was Dr. David Morales, a geologist with a profound connection to the Earth's ancient past. His hands bore the calluses of a man who had touched the depths of the planet, and his eyes held the glint of someone who had glimpsed the world as it once was. David's quiet demeanor hid a reservoir of knowledge and an unquenchable thirst for discovery. Amid the frozen silence, the heartbeat of security resonated in the form of Lieutenant Sarah Jensen. Her presence was a reminder that even in the pursuit of knowledge, there were dangers that must be faced. With a stern yet protective demeanor, she ensured the safety of the base and its inhabitants, ready to defend against any threat that might emerge from the frozen wilderness. Together, these three individuals formed the backbone of the research team. Their camaraderie and shared purpose knit them into a family of sorts, bound not only by their scientific pursuit, but by the stark isolation that surrounded them. Little did they know, their unity would be put to the test as they delved into a discovery that would shake the very foundations of their understanding of life, the universe, and the desolate beauty of the Antarctic wasteland. As the pale sun dipped below the icy horizon, casting long shadows over the research base, the team's activities continued unabated. Inside the sterile confines of the main laboratory, Dr. Emma Carter leaned over a microscope, her eyes locked onto the intricate patterns within a thin slice of ice. The data she uncovered seemed to whisper of ages long past, of secrets waiting to be unveiled. Dr. David Morales entered the room, his presence a quiet reassurance amidst the frozen silence. He approached Emma, his gaze fixed on the pattern she was studying. "Any new revelations?" he inquired, his voice a low rumble in the hushed atmosphere. Emma looked up, a spark of excitement igniting in her eyes. "These patterns," she began, "they're unlike anything I've ever seen. It's as if the ice itself is trying to tell us a story that predates human history." David's curiosity was piqued. He adjusted his glasses and peered through the microscope. "It's almost as if the glacier is a repository of forgotten memories," he mused, "as if it's been waiting for someone to uncover its secret." Meanwhile, Lieutenant Sarah Jensen patrolled the perimeter of the base, her eyes scanning the horizon for any signs of movement. The biting cold seeped through her uniform, a constant reminder of the harsh environment they inhabited. She knew that beyond the icy expanse, danger could lurk in unexpected forms, and she remained vigilant. Back in the laboratory, Emma's fingers danced across the keyboard as she analyzed the data streaming across the screens. "There's something more here, something beneath the surface," she murmured. "A presence that defies our understanding of life as we know it." David leaned in, his breath forming a fog on the glass. "Then perhaps it's time to delve deeper," he suggested, "to unearth the truth that lies dormant within the heart of the glacier." Emma nodded, determination etched on her features. "You're right," she said. "It's time to uncover what's been hidden for eons, to bring to light the cosmic enigma that lies beneath the ice." Little did they know, their pursuit of knowledge would unleash a chain of events that would challenge their very existence. As the first cracks in the glacier's icy facade began to form, the research team stood on the precipice of a discovery that would forever alter the course of their lives and the fate of humanity itself. The following days were a whirlwind of activity as the research team prepared for what lay ahead. Driven by a mixture of excitement and trepidation, they set up specialized equipment to extract a core sample from the heart of the ancient glacier. The hum of generators and the echo of voices filled the air, a stark contrast to the tranquil desolation outside. As the drilling commenced, Lieutenant Sarah Jensen monitored the surroundings, her trained eyes scanning for any signs of disturbance. She couldn't shake the feeling that their actions were not going unnoticed. The very ice seemed to hold its breath, as if aware that the slumbering secret within was about to be unveiled. Hours turned into days, and finally, with a triumphant cheer, the core sample was successfully extracted. The cylindrical column of ice glistened with an otherworldly beauty, revealing intricate patterns and colors that defied the norms of glaciology. The research team gathered around the sample, their eyes filled with a mixture of awe and trepidation. Dr. Emma Carter carefully examined the core, her gloved fingers tracing the mysterious patterns. "It's as if this ice contains a cosmic code," she whispered to herself, "a message from a time and place beyond our comprehension." Dr. David Morales nodded in agreement. "This could be a revelation that reshapes our understanding of the universe," he said, his voice a blend of excitement and reverence. But as the team marveled at their discovery, a sudden tremor rocked the base, sending equipment clattering to the floor. The lights flickered and an eerie chill filled the air, seeping through the walls as if the very fabric of reality was shifting. Lieutenant Sarah Jensen sprang into action, her training kicking in as she directed the team to secure the base. The tremors intensified, and outside, the glacier itself seemed to shudder. As if in response, the core sample emitted an otherworldly glow, its colors shifting and merging in ways that defied explanation. Emma's heart raced as she stared at the glowing core. "We've awoken something," she said, her voice laced with a mix of fascination and apprehension. David's eyes widened. "Something that was meant to remain dormant," he added, realization dawning. Before they could react, the core sample shattered with a blinding burst of light, filling the room with an eerie radiance. And from the shattered ice emerged a presence that seemed to transcend the boundaries of the physical world, an alien organism that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. As the organism began to rapidly multiply and spread, infecting both the environment and living beings, the research team realized with a sinking feeling that their pursuit of knowledge had unleashed a force beyond their control. In their struggle to contain the rapidly escalating infestation, they were faced with a dire choice: to confront the cosmic horror that had been awoken or succumb to a future dominated by mindless, grotesque hybrids. The journey to the heart of the glacier, where the horrifying truth behind the invasion awaited, became not just a mission of discovery, but a battle for survival and the fate of humanity itself. And so, against all odds, the team braced themselves for a desperate mission into the heart of the Antarctic wasteland, where the cosmic secrets and the ultimate showdown awaited. Amidst the chaos and uncertainty that now enveloped the research base, Dr. Emma Carter, Dr. David Morales, Lieutenant Sarah Jensen, and a small team of volunteers gathered in a tense strategy session. The glow of emergency lights cast eerie shadows across their determined faces, highlighting the weight of their predicament. "We can't let this infestation spread any further," Emma asserted, her voice a mixture of urgency and resolve. "If we don't stop it here, it could engulf the entire world." David nodded in agreement. "We need to understand the organism's weaknesses and vulnerabilities. That's the key to stopping its advance." Lieutenant Jensen leaned forward, her expression grim. "Our security protocols are compromised. We need to reestablish control over the base and contain the infected." With a collective nod, the team set their plan into motion. They divided their efforts. Emma and David would analyze the organism's biology and behavior to identify weaknesses, while Lieutenant Jensen led the security team in an effort to reclaim the base from the infected creatures that now roamed its corridors. Days turned into nights as the team fought relentlessly, their determination undeterred even as they faced harrowing encounters with the grotesque hybrids born of the infestation. Emma's eyes burned with exhaustion as she studied samples under the microscope, her mind racing to uncover a solution. Finally, a breakthrough emerged. Dr. David Morales, his hands coated in frost, rushed into the lab, excitement in his voice. "I've identified a weakness," he declared. "The organism is vulnerable to extreme temperature fluctuations. We might be able to exploit that." Emma's heart raced with renewed hope. "If we can devise a way to deliver a controlled burst of extreme cold, we might be able to weaken the organism's hold on the infected beings and the environment." Lieutenant Jensen entered the lab, her expression grim but determined. "We've managed to secure most of the base, but some areas are still overrun. We need to coordinate our efforts and execute a synchronized attack." With their plan in place, the team worked tirelessly to gather the necessary equipment and materials. They modified their existing tools to create specialized devices capable of delivering the extreme cold required to neutralize the organism. It was a race against time as the infestation continued to spread, inching closer to the heart of the base. As the team prepared for their final stand, their thoughts turned to the heart of the glacier, where the source of the infestation awaited. It was a journey fraught with danger, but it was a journey they had to make if they were to have any chance of ending the cosmic invasion once and for all. The time had come for humanity's last stand against the relentless march of the alien organism. With weapons in hand and determination in their hearts, the research team braced themselves for a climactic battle that would determine the fate of the world. Under the dim light of emergency lanterns, the research team gathered their resolve. Dr. Emma Carter, Dr. David Morales, Lieutenant Sarah Jensen, and the others exchanged meaningful glances, each knowing the weight of the mission that lay ahead. They donned insulated suits and checked their equipment one last time, their breath visible in the frigid air. With their improvised cold-emitting devices in hand, the team set out towards the heart of the glacier. The journey was treacherous, the path fraught with icy crevices and towering formations of jagged ice. The howling wind seemed to echo the urgency of their mission, driving them forward despite the odds. As they neared the chamber deep within the glacier, their breath caught in their throats. The sight that greeted them was beyond comprehension. An enormous, pulsating mass of the alien organism, tendrils of energy reaching out in all directions. The air crackled with otherworldly energy, and a nauseating scent of decay filled the chamber. "This is it," Emma whispered, her voice a blend of awe and horror. "This is the source of it all." David's fingers tightened around his device. "We have to weaken it," he said, his voice resolute. "If we can disrupt its control over the infected, we might have a chance." The team spread out, positioning themselves strategically around the chamber. Lieutenant Jensen's security team provided cover, their weapons trained on the alien entity. With a nod, Emma signaled for the attack to begin. A symphony of cold erupted as the team activated their devices, releasing intense bursts of freezing energy. The chamber shook with the force of the assault, and the alien organism writhed and convulsed in response. Tendrils of energy flailed wildly, striking out at the team with malevolent intent. Amidst the chaos, Lieutenant Jensen's team battled back the infected creatures that swarmed from the depths of the chamber, their weapons blazing in the cold darkness. The air was thick with tension, every second a battle between survival and oblivion. As the cold energy surged, the alien organism's hold began to weaken. The infected beings faltered, their movements growing sluggish and uncoordinated. The chamber itself seemed to protest, as if the very fabric of reality was fighting against the entity's control. But the alien organism was not defeated easily. With a final surge of power, it released a shockwave of energy that sent the team reeling. Lieutenant Jensen's team held their ground, their determination unwavering, as Emma and David worked together to channel the cold energy in a final, concentrated attack. In a blinding flash, the alien organism let out a piercing shriek, its energy dissipating into the frozen air. The chamber fell silent, the pulsations and writhing tendrils stilled. The infected beings, once under the entity's control, slumped to the ground, their bodies returning to a semblance of normalcy. The team stood amidst the aftermath, their breaths heavy and their bodies battered. As the realization of their success settled in, a sense of exhaustion and relief washed over them. Their mission had been perilous and the cost had been high, but they had triumphed over the cosmic infestation that threatened to consume the world. As they made their way back through the labyrinthine ice tunnels, the team shared a glance of shared accomplishment. They had faced the unimaginable and emerged victorious, a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity in the face of cosmic horrors. The journey was not without sacrifice, but it had shown them the strength that resided within each of them, a strength that had turned the tide against an otherworldly menace. And so, as they returned to the surface, the isolated Antarctic research base was no longer a haven of isolation and desolation, but a beacon of resilience and hope. The story of their battle against the cosmic infestation would be told for generations to come, a reminder that even in the face of the unknown, humanity's spirit would endure.